Deebo Samuel signs a massive 3-year, $73.5 million contract with the 49ers. So this contract includes $41 million guaranteed at signing, but by April 1st of 2023, it'll turn into $58.1 million guaranteed. And this is basically the deal. This is basically the deal that DK Metcalf got, but he just said, just give me a little bit more than DK Metcalf. It's very, as everybody has seen, we've seen a trend with this happening, with these wide receiver contracts, and I'm gonna get into that too. But right before I get into that, I want to talk about something real quick with Deebo Samuel. So if anyone has forgotten, like 3 or 4 months ago, I think it was in April. Yeah, in April. Deebo Samuel asked the Niners for a trade. He said, like, hey, you know what? I'm not happy here. Like, please trade me. Please trade me. Get me out of here. Ship me somewhere else. I don't want to be with the Niners anymore. That was in April when he said that, right? And everybody freaked out. And Kyle Shanahan, I know Kyle Shanahan freaked out because he loves Deebo Samuel. And he's like, oh, my God, dude. This guy wants out. Like, he's not going to sign a contract. He was freaking out. Everybody's freaking out because they didn't want Deebo to leave. And Deebo claimed, because everyone thought it was a money issue. So everyone's like, oh, it's a money issue, and we need it. He's trying to ask for big money. Deebo Samuel himself claimed that it's not a money issue. He said that he was uncomfortable with how he's being used in Kyle Shanahan's offense. That was the quote from him, saying it's not really a money thing. I'm not comfortable with what's going on, and I don't like how I'm being used, and basically that comes down to they're paying him very little, and then they're overusing him. At least from what it seems like, it's like because they used him as a wide receiver, as their main number one target wide receiver, and they used him as a running back, which is kind of this weird wide back position that they talk about. So he's kind of hybrid player. And of course, when you're playing running back in the NFL, first of all, you don't get paid much money. You're going to get a very low contract. But also playing running back, the more important thing is that you're going to get injured a lot more. Most likely, you're going to get injured a lot more if you're not lucky. God, I'm burping so much. There's so much. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to hold it in so I'm not burping right into the mic, but Jesus. It's coming up a lot. Okay. Anyways, moving past that. With Deebo, so when you're also playing running back and wide receiver, you're putting a lot of wear and tear on your body, because when you play running back, you're gonna get hit. Unless you take it all the way for a touchdown and you don't get touched, which doesn't happen every play. So most plays you're getting hit. Most plays you're taking damage to your body, and that can shorten your career. Taking all those hits will shorten your career. And that's why usually players want to play wide receiver, because, I could play for 15 years and I don't have to worry about getting hit constantly. And that's really what it is. So clearly Deebo was kind of uncomfortable being I'm not really getting paid that much, and I'm putting my body at risk and my career at risk. And and I think here's really what's going on, because this happened months ago. So Deebo Samuel, and this was before all these other wide receivers got their big deals. So Deebo waited it out, and of course I'm pretty sure that the Niners organization, the owner, Kyle Shanahan, I'm sure they've had plenty of talks with Deebo behind the scenes, assuring him that they're gonna pay him good and they're gonna do whatever they can to make him happy, because that they want to keep him in not Arizona. In San Fran. They want to keep him there, and they're going to do what they can to make him happy. So that's I'm sure they've been having those conversations behind the scenes, right? So because all that trade talk kind of went away. It kind of got silenced for months. So I was like, okay, they must be working it out behind the scenes. They must be negotiating, right? And during all this negotiation, of course, all these wide receivers get paid. Devontae Adams, $30 million a year, and Tyreek Hill, $30 million a year, and then we have Terry McLaurin with the 3-year deal, and we got DK Metcalf with the 3-year deal, and they're getting big guaranteed money up front. They're getting big money contracts with less years, and you're seeing that happening. So all these wide receivers get their deals and they're getting paid out. So Deebo just being like, okay, I just gotta wait a little bit longer. Like Deebo's just like, I'm just gonna sit back. I'm gonna wait a little longer. I'm gonna wait for these guys to get their big money, and then I'm gonna come to the table and go, okay, the biggest contract out there right now, like the biggest. No, well, it's not the biggest contract there because Devontae and Tyreek have the big ones, but DK and Terry McLaurin, he wanted clearly. Deebo wanted a contract like that because that's really what he got. He didn't want like the big 5 year and like big money thing. He was like, let me give me the 3 year. It's gonna be big money, but I want it mostly guaranteed. So that's kind of the route that he wanted to go. So he saw Terry and DK do that same thing, and he said, okay, now that's a deal that I want because you're gonna get that deal for 3 years. He can either get out of the contract within a year or two, or he can wait the 3 years and then hit the market again and get another 3 year contract for tons of guaranteed money and get big money again. So that's what it seemed like what happened. Like they negotiated with him, and then Deebo was said, you know what? If I'm gonna stay in San Fran, if I'm not gonna get traded, and I'm staying here, then I'm waiting for these other wide receivers to do all their contracts and get paid, and then I'm gonna pick the contract that I like the most, and then I'm just gonna ask for a little bit more money than them, but give me the same contract basically. So that's really what happened with Deebo. So it is kind of crazy that he went from demanding a trade to get out of San Fran to signing a 3 year extension for a lot of money. So it's surprising because I really thought Deebo was gonna be on the move. I was like, oh, Green Bay is gonna get Deebo, or any one of these other teams, like, oh, they're gonna get Deebo now. Oh my God, like. But he stayed in San Fran, and as a Cardinals fan, I'm disappointed because I wanted him to leave the division. I was like, yo, please leave this division. Go anywhere else. I don't care where you go, dude. Go with Tom Brady if you want, dude. I don't care. Just don't be in the Cardinals division anymore because he gives me nightmares. Deebo Samuel gives me nightmares, and I'm not happy about it. Like, hey, you know what? I am happy that he's getting paid money because he's getting these big contracts because he deserves it, dude. Like, he deserves the contract, even though it's 1 year of big production from him. So, like, of course, you want to see a little bit more, but he's a young player and he has a lot of promise, and we've seen good potential from him. So he deserves a contract, and I'm glad he's getting paid what he rightfully deserves. So that's that on Deebo.